Starbase is an upcoming sci-fi space MMO about crafting or engineering your own ships and vehicles in a universe that's fully destructible and, I quote, infinitely expanding. In the last video covering this title, I talked about the general overview of how crafting, combat, and destructibility is said to work, and how it compares to its contemporaries like, well, the upcoming dual universe and the most popular multiplayer space crafting game right now, Space Engineers. Today, though, we're going to talk about the all-encompassing element that games like Space Engineers is sorely lacking, but other space sim titles have, well, normally a heavy focus on the economy. A big portion of any multiplayer space sim is how the economy works. Seriously, think about it. Your favorite space game, EVE Online, Star Citizen, single-player titles like Freelancer, the X series. The economy gives your ships and stations weight, value, and in turn makes losing them something that you don't just shrug off. Starbase has announced some really cool features about some of the ways to make money in their verse. A mission system has been mentioned, specifically in the realm of trading and moving cargo. But let's focus on the transportation of goods for trade, aka buying low and selling high, and the glory of the intergalactic dibs law, aka salvage. The base mechanics of any economy is how they're planning to handle the movement of goods from one point to another, be it ammo, trade goods, supplies, or that bit of your buddy's ship you decided to borrow. One way to move goods is to grab them and stick them inside your ship. The problem with this is if you fail to bolt them down, loose baggage inside the compartment can cause damage. Bolting objects down is an option, but it's described as time-consuming. It also makes a bit of a mess out of your interior of your ship. So that brings us to cargo storage. There's a few ways to do cargo storage, each different based on what you plan to move and what your ship's designed for. Cargo crates are built to hold objects that don't fit in a character's inventory. Lore-wise, they project a field inside that keeps the cargo safe. This is a much easier way of transporting goods without having a bunch of crap strapped to the hull. Another version of the cargo crate are the modular crates. This is a system that in the universe actually compresses items, meaning you can put larger items in the crates than the actual crates. It's bizarre, but hey, these things can be connected together to hold even more. It's something we've actually seen in the lore for EVE Online, where cargo crates can actually hold more than they are in size how big they are. It's weird. I bet we see players using these to transport large amounts of, say, minerals and dedicated hauling vessels. Something like the Iteron from EVE, or the GR-75 from Star Wars, with those big cargo crates strapped to the bottom. Who knows what players will come up with? Unlike the normal box, these modular crates actually require a bit of power to run their compression fields. They have a built-in power source for short term. I'm betting this is for transferring the crates from one ship to another or on to a space station. But if you're hauling anywhere far, you're going to want a generator or an alternate power source to keep them going. My question is, what happens if the power runs out and the compression field goes away? Do the crates just explode? We've seen this in Space Engineers, where a crate will explode and a giant ice rock, if it had ice inside it, will pop out, actually damaging the rest of your ship's systems. So, we got our boxes. Now, how do we move them from point A to point B? Well, you could bolt them inside your ship. It seems that the bolting crafting system that's used for just about everything else can be used even on cargo crates. You can even use the bolting system to tear pieces off of other people's ships and bolt them onto your own if you like. Very orky. If you're a dedicated hauler, you're probably going to want to design a ship with something like a cargo lock frame. Basically, this blue field that can lock objects in a space so acceleration doesn't send the objects flying through a bulkhead or into a passenger's head. In the transportation demo, we actually see a ship drop down and collect a group of supply crates and scoop them up, locking them in the cargo lock frame. In another shot, we actually see the same ship using a crane or a tractor beam to pull the crates up into its cargo bay. What's most impressive about all of this is the game's scripting engine allow for more tech-savvy of you out there to design systems that match up with how you want to accomplish your goal, like automating the entire process without the need of actually manually walking back into the cargo bay to do it, or having to hire on a buddy to help you. Another cargo-specific device we've seen is the cargo beam, which, when 3 beams hit an object, actually grab it and hold it in place. We've seen this even work on asteroids and shipwrecks. I bet between this, the tractor beam, this is what salvages will be using as their bread and butter. We've had a tease of a modular furnace. Could we end up seeing large refinery ships with small transports with tractor beams running out and grabbing full-on rocks to bring them in for refinement? Here's a shot of a planet prototype with the surrounding asteroids. It's looking really kick-ass, actually. Imagine setting up a mining operation in a belt and hoping not to get spotted by another faction. It's that level of cooperation that I think I'm most excited for having this as an MMO. We've seen some other stuff like modular missile designs actually be shared by the developers over on their Discord, as well as Gauss rifles, sniper rifles, SMGs, meaning for combat operations, we be building and transporting armaments to the front lines. Again, more of that co-op level gameplay I can't wait and hope to see. There's even a demo video over on the Starbase Discord showing an example of public transportation using the scripting engine, what looks like a custom space bus made by a player. That thing is flying all on its own, by the way. Hopefully soon we'll hear more about the combat and mission systems and how they'll work in detail and how it's going to be implemented. I'm hoping there's a bit of cooperative and not just PvP released with this. So, what are your thoughts on Starbase? Is this going to be the second generation of space crafting combat titles that we have with Dual Universe and this coming out? Let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.